Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to my series of florals, botanicals, organics, and all kinds of fun things. So in this series, I am making 23 videos showing various botanical and floral patterns from artists all over the world. So I am making them in this little sketchbook, and then after that, I am adding them to my 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tiles from zentangle.com, and I am taping them all together to make a long, beautiful garden. So I will show that to you after we do it in our practice book, and I'll show you how our garden is coming along and we can add it. If you are not creating the big garden like I am, it's okay. You can draw these in your sketchbook. You can draw them on cards, scrap paper, whatever you have. It doesn't matter. So much fun to learn these. Okay, so today is day 14. I'm going to open up my little book here. Get through, let's see, got a lot of them. All right, day 14. Okay, and I like adding them to this little sketchbook because it's a good reference to go back and just see all these different florals. And please feel free, if you have a little sketchbook like this, add more. Fill this book up with all the floral tangles that you can find. Okay, so it is day 14. I'll zoom in a little bit. And this one is called Puffin-flower. And it is by Yuru Chen. I'm probably saying her name wrong. I think this is the third one already that I've used of hers, and I just kind of keep being drawn to the ones that she creates. So that is one that we're doing today. All right, so a puffin flower, if that's how you say it, looks kind of like a fan, and the shape that she makes is kind of a round petal, and there's also ones on, like if you look up images of a puffin flower, the fan shape can have more of a point. So we're going to do the round ones, but maybe when we put it in our garden, we might add, a variation of that. Okay, here we go. Let me get my little notes here. All right, so we begin with a small circle, just a little one, and a stem. It's up to you how long or how wide you want the stem to be. And then we make a larger circle on the right hand side over here. It's going to be our big petal like we have over here. And then we make a larger one on that side. And I probably could have had it coming out of the center instead of down here, but that's okay. So essentially it's these two little shapes together. And then once you have that, we add in some striping. So I'm going to go from this center circle and I'm going to make a thin line nice and straight through the center. And then I'm going to keep doing more, but each one I'm going to curve a little bit to give that illusion of a curved, kind of a rounded pattern. Nice and thin. And the next one, we put a line down the center as well. It doesn't have to line up with the middle necessarily. Just put in a line and then put in these really gentle, slight curved lines. That's it. That's Puffin flower. It's so beautiful and so simple and so elegant. So a variation of that would be in the center. You could, this is an option that she shows, you could ink it in, but leave a little bit of a little reflection, a little white area. And then add your petals. Could also make your stems be a little curly. That looks like balloons sort of in this one, but once you add all the pieces, it will not look like balloons. Okay. All right, so puffin flower, and here we go. So this is my garden, and someone requested that I show the whole thing, but a little bit slower than I've been showing it. So let's take you through all of the days so far. I think it's looking amazing. And what I love most, I think, about this is that it's a variety of artists who have created these tangle patterns. Look at all of those. And that was the last one we did, greenery. Okay, so we're going to do the next one, and I've already added on another tile so that I can cross over the middle if I would like. Okay, on the back of each tile, I am writing, sorry, a little bit of space here to work in. I am writing the names of the tangles that I'm using on each tile, and I am putting 2 tangles per tile. So if this is your first time watching this, I do one video, the first half of the tile, my second video is the second half. So puffin flower. Okay. Here we go. Again, zoom in a little bit there. Oops. Sorry. Okay, and we're working on this one. I'm not sure why my Zoom is doing that today, but it is. Okay, so I like to begin with pencil just so I can kind of map out where I want these to land. So what I didn't show you is how to connect these puffin flowers to make them kind of grow out of each other. So I sort of want a bundle over here. So I'm just gonna put in like a little stem just as like a reminder of where I want it. And then I kind of want one to be around here. And then maybe we'll grow up out of there and have one up here. We could also come off of a stem and have something over this way. So I know you can hardly see that. I just want to pencil in some spaces of where I want these to land. And of course we can change as we go. Okay, so I'm going to put my first one over here somewhere. And I begin with that little circle. And I'm not going to put the stem in yet because I might work off of that stem later. So I don't want to ink that in yet. Okay, and then I'm going to add that first rounded petal. And then the second one. And I'm going to let mine bump right into the leaf. If yours doesn't touch the leaf, it's okay, but mine just happened to. And so I like that because it'll look like these are growing in together. And then we put in a line in the center. And we add these curves. I feel like I'm always apologizing for the noise in my house. But my son is home from college and he's trying to print something. And there's all kinds of noise coming from the printer. Okay, so just very delicately, very slowly adding in these little curved lines. Look at that. So Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas from Zentangle, they talk a lot about drama and texture. And so this would be a texture tangle where you're adding a lot of these little details that make it look very textured. And then drama is when we add a lot of like the dark and the white. So kind of more bold. And so I picked this one because this one here was a little more intricate. We had a lot of different lines and things happening. We had a lot of bold, where this one is more of just a very simple elegance. So I thought it paired well with that one. Okay, so we have those two in, and I'm just going to put a little reflection in here. And again, you have that option of darkening the whole thing and leaving a little bit of white. It's up to you. And then I think I'm going to build off of this one. So I'm going to put a little stem in here. And I'm going to add another circle. Now I've made it way up here as an idea, but I kind of just want to put it right here. So I'm going to add in that little circle. And I showed you her way of doing the first petal and then the second one. But of course, and in her variations as well, some of these could be single. You could even do a triple one. You could have them facing different ways. So this was the most basic steps, but you can change it if you would like. Okay, I'm going to do the same steps I did down here. So I'm going to put in that first petal and that second petal. And then one little tip, like mine's kind of straight right there and it's completely fine with me, but I just wanted to show you, like if I were attempting to sort of make that into a circle, like I should have probably curved it in a little bit more. So you can always like take your pencil and sort of pre-draw something to get those angles right. So it doesn't just look like you're putting a bump out. You know, you want it to be like a nice round petal. Okay, we're going to add in these little texture details. Go nice and slow on these. You don't have to rush. And the one over here as well. So a lot of these patterns so far have not looked like any actual flower, you know, like a very specific one, but then some of them do look like the flower it's named after. And this is one of those that definitely resembles the actual puffin flower or the puffin leaf. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and focus on this space down here. So I'd like to have one over in this area. So I'm just going to put in my little circle. I like to draw the petals and the flowers first and then add in the stems, but you can do it in any order you'd like. And I think I'm going to go the opposite, where I'm going to put in that smaller petal there and the larger petal here. And I like that variation in size. I also love this one just because of the relaxing strokes. And when you do the Zentangle method of drawing and you use the tangles from Zentangle Incorporated, they really are not complicated. They are mostly simple patterns that are easily repeatable, and they're meant to help you feel calm. So a lot of these floral ones stress us out. You know, if you're trying to make this one and it doesn't look like your ribbon area is folding or your star in the middle doesn't look right, it can cause you stress and anxiety. So we love doing these, but it's also nice to do some that are a little bit more achievable and ones that are easily repeatable. Okay, I'm going to put in my stem of this one, and I'm going to do it by putting in the rounded part here. And then this one I'm going to go part way down, and then I'm going to bump up here to this one. Just kind of connected those. All right, I would like another one up here somewhere, so I think I'm going to go off of this tall one. And I've got this nice little curve here, so I think I'm just going to do a similar thing. Put in my little circle, and oh, I wanted to vary my petals and add that kind of pointy one. So maybe I'll do that here. I'm going to cross over, make this nice and large. just for fun, just for something different. So just changing the shape of your petal can really change how your page looks. So play around, have fun, experiment a little. All right, and then another embellishment that she adds to these is these little strands that come out like, let's see, maybe I'll do one right here where she just sort of adds this, like a little part of the stem is coming out and maybe doesn't have one of these petals on it. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to pretend like this one comes out over here and crosses over like that. And I could do another one over here. So see how we can add to the tangle by just putting in some little embellishments. I'll do one this way. All right, I really like that. And then she also adds some of these circle elements down at the base. You don't have to do this, but if you would like to, it's fun to take elements from up above and put them in other places. Beautiful. So I still have some space here, so I'm going to do a little one, and I'm going to put my circle in. Then I'm going to put in kind of a large one, and I think I'm just going to leave it as a single. And if I did it as a double, I could have it tucking in behind this one, and that would really bring that area together. So I could keep going, but I think I'm going to leave it open right now because I think in tomorrow's I'm going to show you another little insect, a little embellishment that we can do. And so maybe I'll add that in a few of these empty spaces. Okay, I'm going to do some shading, but before I shade, I want to add some of these little circles up here. So we have this nice little frame going on, and I'm enjoying having some things cross over and some things kind of hanging down and adding these little embellishments. So I'm going to put a few of these little orbs up here. Orbs or circles, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to add some at the base of this flower as well, just because then it sort of blends these in together. So go ahead and add a few of these. She also adds some right on the plant. So maybe I'll put one right there. Put one in here if you wanted. We're just playing. We're just having fun and hopefully feeling calm, feeling relaxed. If you just want to add some weight, you can add some darkening in some of those little curves. That's a fun little thing to do. Can put some ink underneath here. Okay, I love it. So I've got my grass over here. I want to continue my grass. So I'm just going to put in these curves. Like that. I'm going to ink them in. And again, we'll be adding another little insect as an embellishment to this. So it's okay if you've got some empty spaces in your garden. By the end of all of our videos, we'll have all kinds of fun little embellishments we can put all over. Okay, this is my little practice sketchbook, and I do have a page here for embellishments, and I'm just going to add these little circles or orbs because you can put these all throughout your garden to fill in spaces, maybe at the bottom of your stems or in little V-shaped crevices or up on top. So I just want to add that, and then I'll just kind of add a couple more just to sort of show what we can do with those. Okay, and maybe we'll add in the one that is dark and just has that little bit of a reflection on it as a reminder. That could be an embellishment as well. So our gardens are not done. We're going to keep going back and adding more things. All right, let's do a little bit of shading. And I'll let you get on with your day. Okay, so I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to start with these little circles, and I'm going to go around the circle wherever it has a petal and where it goes over the stem. So this one here goes over those two petals, and then it goes over that stem. Over the petals, stem, petals, and stem. One petal and a stem. Take my blending tool, and I'm going to push down on those stems. Just give them that little bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to go push out from the circle. And look at that. Look at how rounded that makes that look with just this little bit of shading. Now really quickly, I want to take my kneaded eraser because I forgot I've got all these pencil lines in here where I was mapping out my tangles, and I'm just going to erase some of those. Okay, there we go. So pushing this out and up into those flowers. All right, then I'm going to put a little bit at the top of each of these, further enhancing that look of 3D. Just a little bit in the top, and I'm just going to push that down and out. Look how beautiful those are. And then lastly, I'm going to look at these double petal ones, and where one goes over or in front of another one, I need it to create this little shadow. So this one goes over this one. So I'm going to put this little shadow where they go over each other. This one just has a tiny one. And that one goes there. I push that out and away. And look at how those look like there's some in the foreground, some in the background. I also have this little leaf from the previous plant coming over. So that's going to create a shadow. So anytime you have that overlapping, you can always add in a little shadow to just help it look a little more three-dimensional. Okay? And then if you would like in your little circles, you can take your blending tool that probably already has some graphite on it. If you don't have enough graphite on it, you could always add a little bit with your pencil. And you can just put a little bit on one side of each of those circles. And you could also do it on these ones. Just adds a little bit. I'm doing them like on the opposite side of that little reflection that I made. Okay. I think that's everything. That is Puffin flower, and I think it is a beautiful one that goes so well in our garden. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to post, let's see, today is Monday. So we have 5 this week and then maybe 4 next week, and then we're done. 3 or 4, I don't remember. But this Friday, so I can't think of the date. Let's see, 19, I think the 24th. I'm going to do a video and then I will do a drawing with a random number. And if you purchased one of my kits, I will have a gratitude giveaway. And if you have a kit, then you would have received a cute little bird that I drew and painted and numbered on the back. So we'll draw a random number, and if you have one of those birds, we'll check the number and you might win a little gratitude giveaway. So that will be coming up in a few days on Friday. So just wanted to mention that, and follow me on Facebook at Let's Tangle for more information, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.